Hi. All right, guys. So our guest tonight is Carly Linder. You're gonna have to tell me if I said that right, but it's Carly Linder, and she is a rock star, you guys. I was on a superstar diamond training, and we were talking about upcoming leaders and everything like that. And her name kept popping up, and I'm like, I'm gonna go check this girl out. Your Instagram's amazing, and she's just so real and just gets it. Okay, so make sure that you have your notebook ready and you're ready to listen and then apply what she's teaching us, okay? It was funny when her and I were talking. I was like, just talk about all of that stuff because I was like, you could talk. I'm like, what do you like to talk about? This, and this. I was like, oh my gosh, we need to hear all of that stuff, okay? So she's going to be sharing her top tips with us. She's been a coach for 3 years, you guys. So 3 years she's been a Beachbody coach. She retired her fiance in fall of 2018, which is amazing. That's a huge accomplishment. She was a 2019 elite coach. She's 11-star diamond coach. I think I heard a little bird say that you are 12-star qualifying or close. And she's like, what? Yeah, she's very close. I know how those qualifications happen. And she is a 1-star in her second business center. So between her first and second business center, you guys, she has 12 diamonds. That's amazing, especially in 3 years. And she's been in Success Club 37 months in a row. So if you do the math, she's basically been hitting Success Club since she signed up as a coach. Okay, so that's pretty amazing. So Carly, I'm excited to be able to hear from you and your topic. I know we said that the topic was going to be called, where did I put it? Building your business based on your story. And I think that's something that all of us could focus on because we get so wrapped up in our heads about what we're supposed to post, and we forget that your unique story is what's going to make your business take off. Okay? Now, guys, I am praying that my internet sticks. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear that thunder? Can you hear that? I'm hoping my internet sticks out through this. It should. Knock on wood, we don't normally have issues like that. But then again, there's some crazy thunder going on. So pray for me. But Carly, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction, Meg. And Lindor was close. It's Lindor like the Lindor chocolates.
Lindor. Oh, I like that even better.
I always like play jokes on people like, yeah, we own Lindor chocolates. And then like only 1 out of 10 actually believe me. But anyways, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. I almost said Monday because our team calls are always on Mondays. But hope you guys are having an amazing week. I'm so honored to be able to speak to you guys and talk a little bit. I'm going to go kind of all over the board because, yeah, like Meg said, we kind of had like 2 topics that she wanted me to share on. She wanted me to definitely talk about like the explosive growth in my team just in the last like 12 to 14-ish months. And then I want to dive a little bit deeper into a social media training that I love to share that is based on, helping you share your story and your brands and creating a team from sharing your story and your brand so that A, you can have more fun on social media, B, you can attract people who are like you, and 3, you can build trust with your followers that goes way deeper than just Shakeology, workouts, meal plan, right? Because that's just like boring Beachbody coach stuff, and we don't want to be just a boring Beachbody coach. We want to be you and your brand and really what your business represents to you and why you have pursued coaching. So I'm going to dive into that in a second, but I'll just do a little like kind of background on me and kind of where I came from. And so funny when people always say, I'm a 10-star diamond coach, 11-star qualifying, 12-star maybe on Thursday, and then 2-star qualifying in my second CVC on Thursday as well. So there's so much like crazy growth that's happened in the last 12 months. But you guys, 12 months ago, I had literally just gone through the 6-week qualification to become a 2-star diamond coach. 1 year ago, 12 months ago, I had just opened up my second CVC, and it was like I had finally made it through 6-week qualifications at the end of 2018, so just over a year ago. Or at the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, I was still a diamond coach. I started 2018 as a diamond coach. I was like floundering between trying to, get through qualifications and do this and do that and all of these different things in my business. And I really had to have like a reality check with myself. So it's just so funny when people are like, oh yeah, she's so amazing, she's 10 star. I'm like, yeah, but like the first 2 years of my business, I was like literally not doing the right thing. So I kind of wanted to start with that, just some things that really helped me pivot that kind of 1% to really catapult my business forward. And the first thing that I always say is, you guys, 2 years ago or a year ago, when I really did that kind of that ego like reality check, like, okay, you've been in this business for a year and a half, pushing 2 years. Like, what are you doing wrong? Why are you still stuck at diamond and not advancing diamonds and like, pursuing like these leadership ranks? I really had to ask myself, like, am I modeling my coaching behavior after what the successful coaches do? And you guys have an amazing upline coach in Megan, right? Like she's a super successful coach. She is leading you guys from the front. She's successful for a reason. So literally what I did, and I asked myself that, I'm like, what am I doing that Jamie, my upline coach, isn't doing? Right? Like, how am I making this business really difficult? What things am I reinventing the wheel with that Jamie isn't doing? And anything that I was doing that she wasn't doing, I literally scrapped it all. I literally stopped doing anything that she wasn't doing, because the best thing I did for my business is realizing that success leaves clues. And this business is about duplication. And this business is about keeping it simple, because if you don't keep your business simple and focus on getting results and leading from the front there and just doing what the successful people have done, you're gonna get in these trenches of like, I need to build a website, and then I'm gonna focus on Pinterest, and then I'm gonna do an Instagram training, and then I'm gonna watch 5 YouTube tutorials that are 50 minutes long each, and I'm not gonna do one reach out. And my upline coach is successful because she sticks to the basics. She does the things that she needs to do, and I really just had to ask myself that. So sometimes, and this is why I tell my coaches, is we are the biggest roadblocks in our business. So I wiped my slate clean just over a year ago, and I was like, I'm officially not going to do anything that Jamie isn't doing, and I'm going to be coachable. Okay, so whatever Jamie, my upline, tells me to do, I'm just going to shut the F up and do it. And that's literally when my business started exploding, because she's successful for a reason, right? And now I'm successful because I'm doing what she's doing. I'm going to teach you guys obviously how to like put your spin on it with like Instagram and like branding and stuff. But that's really the big piece in my business that started to change. The other thing that really started to change, and this is kind of like more of an action item, is I asked myself kind of like what PD books I was committing myself to, and if they were personal development books that helped me in the things that I was struggling with. So, a year ago, I was crushing the Miracle Mornings. I was doing my workout programs. I've always been an advocate of, you follow a fitness program, you do it from start to finish, you complete a meal plan, and you get results. There's no like cherry picking meal plans or cherry picking workouts. Like, you do the workouts as they're designed. So I was crushing it on the fitness aspect. I was crushing it in the Success Club. I was doing all of those things. But I was asking myself, okay, I'm stuck at diamond. I can't even get to a star diamond rank. Like, what was I slacking in? So clearly I was slacking in leadership, right? What type of personal development did I need to dive into? Well, at that point, I was reading the Miracle Morning. And I was already crushing my Miracle Mornings and getting really good results. So I was like, okay, I don't need to read the Miracle Morning. I'm a yoga teacher, so I have a lot of yoga teachers become coaches, and they want to read all of these like fluffy yoga books. And I'm like, that's amazing, but like, we're building a business. We're not like reading inspirational quotes by Gandhi, okay? So you need to focus on the things that you're struggling with. So for me, I had to ask myself, what am I struggling with? So I had to dive into PD books that were leadership focused, because I was sucking as a leader, right? Because I wasn't advancing diamonds. I wasn't encouraging my team to grow. So I dove into John Maxwell. I dove into the one book I'm going to recommend to you guys is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That one is amazing for leadership. I swear, it's 21 chapters. You could do a 21-day book club with your team. It's amazing. I did that. So the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership is a leadership book that I dove into. Another leadership book that you guys could dive into is Build to Last by Keith Callahan. That's one that just was released, I think like a month ago or so, but I read it. I'm going to read it again. He encourages you to read it every quarter. But again, it's helping me focus on those things that I was sucking at, right? If you suck at Instagram, then like you need to be going on YouTube and doing Instagram trainings as your PD, right? If you suck at Success Club or being reactive in this business and you're waiting until the end of the month to hit Success Club, you need to be doing your PD as YouTube videos on how to hit Success Club at the beginning of the month. That needs to be your PD, right? So it has to be the things that you're struggling with. That's why we read it. And then the last thing that I really wanted to encourage you guys just on the way that my team kind of has seen like this explosive growth, is really just believing in Beachbody. Like for so long, I was like, I don't know why I was like embarrassed to call myself a coach, or like embarrassed to like, you know, talk about network marketing or talking about like, you know, what I do, and like giving myself credit that it's a full-time career. Like I watched a ton of my friends go through college and, you know, pursue these corporate jobs, and they don't even like their corporate jobs, but they were more passionate about their corporate jobs than I was about Beachbody and coaching and like what it represented. So I gave myself that permission to go freaking all in and really treat this business like a business, right? Doctors go to school for over 10 years and like, I mean, they get into these jobs and they pursue their job and they pursue their degree and they pursue this education for so long. And for me, for some reason, I wanted success in 30 days. I wanted success in 6 months, even 12 months, you know? So letting myself be that student and know that it was going to take a while for that pipeline to build, and knowing that, again, if I went back to those basics, Success Club, recruiting new coaches, filling that pipeline with people, that eventually once I had a couple of those diamond coaches pop, I could look back to my other personally sponsored coaches and say, hey, who wants to go 10-star with me? And that's literally what happened last year. But I spent the year and a half previous pumping my pipeline full of people. You know, there's like that kind of visual of like pumping a well. Like you can pump a well for a really long time and not see the overflow, right? You can work your freaking ass off and pump it and pump it and pump it, and you won't see that overflow. So if you're in those trenches of like, well, I've been hitting Success Club for 4 months in a row or 6 months in a row or whatever, like first off, you haven't even scratched the surface if you're like 4 or 6 months in, right? I'm 3 years in and I still feel like I'm learning something new every single day. But know if you're doing those basics and you're filling that pipeline, once you do have that one girl who's ready to run with you, you want to be able to run with her. And you also want to be able to look at a downline of coaches, of other personally sponsored coaches, and say, hey guys, who's going to run with us, right? And that's how my team went from diamond to 10-star in 12 months, is because I had spent that year and a half previous pumping my pipeline full, even though I wasn't seeing the outflow of water, right? Even though I wasn't seeing those results. You have to have faith and trust in this process, just like we have faith and trust in our meal plans, right? We don't grow abs in 30 days. We don't grow, you know, a 6-pack in 7 days, right? We don't feel good on our meal plan on day 3, right? It takes time getting used to it. So if you're in the trenches, like, or if you feel like you're stuck, or you're doing the things and you're not seeing the output, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So those are the things that really helped me just kind of like blow my business out of the water this past year or so. And now I'm going to share my screen and dive into a little bit more social media. So obviously social media is very visual. So I thought that I would share this presentation with you guys just because it was really helpful for me to kind of talk on these basics, but I want to give you guys like tangible examples on like how to really brand your story. So we're going to shift into social media. I'm going to take a drink of water really quick because I feel like I'm going to cough. Okay, so why tell a story? Beachbody is a relationship business. I'm sure a lot of you guys are like amazing coaches. You guys already know, obviously, that Beachbody is a relationship business, right? We're not marketing workouts and meal plans and Shakeology. We're marketing our story with meal plans, Shakeology, and workout programs, right? So you're never marketing 21-day fix. You're marketing your story of you completing the 21-day fix, right? Because people are attracted to stories, not products, right? Stories sell, products do not sell, right? So ask yourself as you look over your Instagram, like how much of your story with these products are you telling, right? A lot of people say, there's always this excuse that I have for my coaches where it's like, my life's a mess, or I work 40 hours a week, or I have 4 kids, or I have this, or I have that. Like I can never be successful because I'm not a full-time coach and have all this time to devote to coaching. Guys, the most amazing message that I ever heard is the fact that your mess is your message, right? Like if I hadn't shared like where I was before coaching and before I became successful with coaching, where I am now wouldn't be as valuable if I hadn't shared that mess of my message leading up into becoming a coach, leading up to going through my first couple workout programs, then to quitting my bartending job, then to retiring my husband, or my fiance. Those things don't have as much value if I hadn't shared that mess along the way. So if you're a part-time coach still working a corporate job, or you're planning on staying in your corporate job and you just love coaching part-time, that's amazing. Make sure that you're sharing that kind of like mess of your life. And the mess obviously doesn't have to be negative. It's just like the chaoticness of your life, right? If you work a 40-hour week, or you have 4 kids, or you have all these other responsibilities, that's your message, right? That's you proving to your following that they can do this because you can do it too, right? I'm less credible sitting over here as a full-time coach. People are like, well, of course you can meal plan and do a fitness program and get amazing results. That's your job. That's all you do. You guys have like people who have a full-time job still, or have kids, or have crazy schedules. You literally have more credibility than somebody who, you know, is a full-time coach being able to devote all of their time to this, right? Your message is proving to them that this is how you can still get it done. This is why these workout programs work. This is why Beachbody is such an amazing solution. So sharing your story adds value to the products themselves, but sharing your story also just adds value to you connecting with your followers and saying, hey, I'm just like you, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about this relationship business and proving that, like, if I can do this, you can do it too, right? If I can press play for 30 minutes at home on a workout program, you can do it too. So don't ever stray away from your message. I always talk to my new coaches about really defining their brands and deciding really what their brands are outside of coaching, because I want them to make sure that they're elevating other things outside of, again, just fitness and meal plans and Shakeology, right? I always tell my coaches, you need to have 5 prominent brands, and literally one of your brands can be Beachbody coaching, fitness, workouts, and exercise. The other 4 cannot be about Beachbody, cannot be about coaching, cannot be about, you know, anything fitness related. I want you to have other ways to connect with your following outside of coaching, so you can build that relationship with them, so they can really feel like they're getting to know you. So examples, and I'll share my brands at the end here, but I just want to talk about some other people. So examples, you probably recognize her, so we know Haley Christian's story, and then we also know her brands from her story outside of just health and fitness, right? So she talks about her story all the freaking time. Like, I'm sure you could go back into like her last 3 posts. These are old posts, but if you go back on her 3 posts, she's probably talking about her story in there of her being a server, a hairstylist, turned coach. She always talks about she was working crazy hours until she leveled up and tried something new. She talks and really is honest about the fact she doesn't know a lot about health and fitness, but she just follows these programs and knows that it works. And she's on a mission to help others find the same. Her brands. Dog Mom, she's a wife. She loves her pink hair, funky fashion. That's a huge part of her brand. She's an introvert, and she, pushes herself out to do scary things. And she connects with a lot of people about the fact that she's scared of public speaking, that she doesn't like talking to people, that she is weird. But that's another connection point that she's making with her followers all the time, right? A third thing that she talks about is she's really open about the fact that she hates working out, that she hates salads, that she hates eating healthy. But again, she goes back to these fitness programs and how, they make it super simple for her, to follow a program and get the results that she needs. And then another one of her brands is she talks about how she likes to party. She talks about how she's super weird and awkward. So those are her 5 brands. And I didn't hear coach or fitness or really anything like that that's really specific to Beachbody in there at all, right? So she's creating these connecting points with her following outside of just coaching. Another example, Amy Rada, I don't know if you guys know of her, but obviously her story, she was a teacher, turned stay-at-home firm mom. She loved teaching, but was always looking for something more. She had always struggled with, diets or quick fixes and wanted consistency. And she wanted a fulfilling job without being drained. She talked a lot about how, she would feel drained at the end of a workday, teaching kindergarten. She always talked about her family and freedom at home to be present. Those were some of her brands or her whys. So these are her brands right here. Right? So you can pull even from this feed right here: wife, dog mom, organization, camping outdoorsy, health conscious, struggles with digestion, and a small town girl pushing for big goals. These are all things that you can pull from her feed that aren't necessarily really fitness and Beachbody related, but it's more okay, now I know who Amy is as a person, right? Now, if I have a golden retriever, I love her because Moose is her mascot, and I'm connected to her because of that, right? Or, she's in the Midwest, she loves camping and stuff. If I was a, Midwesterner, or I loved camping, I'd automatically be connected to her brand, and it has nothing to do with coaching, right? All right, here's another one of my really good friends, Sammy. She's a student, or she was a student before she graduated, trying to find her path, her journey of trusting the process, inspiring people along the way. She's super tough love, can always count on her for motivation and real life inspiration. She talks a lot about her beating anxiety and kind of learning to love that process that she's on. Her brands are Nike, Girls with Muscle, Clean and Easy Eating, Family, Boyfriend Life, Traveling, and Fashion for Comfort. She always talks about how she like hates jeans or like prison pants. And I know that about her because she talks about that on her platform, right? So again, a totally kind of like goofy brand, but it connects me and it makes me feel like I'm friends with her, not just like some girl showing up trying to convince me to join a fitness group, right? All right, here's my brand. So this is what I talk about a lot. Even though I am still like 3 to 4 years out of college, I still talk about the fact that, you know, I graduated college trying to escape the corporate world. I really wanted the freedom of a different schedule. I love traveling. So the ability to travel and still work is really like something that pushed me towards coaching. I talk very frequently about how I was an I was an overworked, underpaid yoga teacher, like fitness enthusiast, but didn't really know how to apply my love of fitness, or like how I was going to apply that into like a full-time career. I talk a ton about how, you know, I dove into the yoga teaching scene and realized very quickly that it was not profitable and it wasn't something that I could do long term. And another big part of my brand is I went from skinny to strong. So I talk to women who, you know, have a hard time putting on weight. I talk to girls who, you know, are categorized as, oh, you're healthy, why don't you just go eat some fries? When in reality, like it was always a struggle for me to build muscle and feel confident in the body that I had, or feel like I had earned the body that I had. So my brands are yoga, faith, family, real life, fashion, long hair. Those are 2 really big brands of mine. Adventure enthusiast, Pacific Northwest, traveling. One of my brands used to be Tiny Home because I used to live in a tiny home. I love coffee, so that was one of my brands. Obviously your brands are going to evolve, guys. So now some of my brands right now are Pomeranian Mom, New Home Life, home renovations. That's a huge part of my brand, and I always try to elevate that on my platform weekly. You know, fiance, planning a wedding. That's something that I always try to elevate on my feed weekly. So those are just things, again, connection points that I can make with my following that builds that relationship and that connection so they can trust me and know me outside of just fitness and health and coaching and Shakeology, okay? So after you look through all of those, how many times did I necessarily say coach or fitness program or Beachbody or, you know, Shakeology, or those really kind of like buzzwords that you hear all these people trying to emphasize on their platforms? Like maybe a little bit sprinkled in there, but it wasn't just Beachbody, right? It was more like why Beachbody or why coaching or the lifestyle that it created. So from there, I want to talk, I'm going to get another sip of water, but passive versus personal posting. So when people sign up as coaches, or like, you know, you onboard a new coach, their automatic assumption is kind of like, okay, I'm going to work out, I'm going to drink my Shakeology, and I'm going to work on my coaching business. And that's what I'm going to post about because that's what I'm trying to attract, right? I'm trying to get other people to work out, drink Shakeology, and work on their coaching business with me, right? I really love teaching my coaches to get outside of just that passive posting of like, this is what I'm supposed to do, here's my workout, and instead connect it personally, right? So passive versus personal posting. So passive, again, is this workout, Shakeology, coaching business, doing my coach work, whatever. An example of personal posting would be, you know, I'm doing my workout, I'm drinking my superfoods, and why I choose to work out and eat healthy. For me and my brands, and how personally workouts and Shakeology helps my life, is I talk about how my workouts strengthen my yoga practice. My workouts help me hike further. I talk about how ski season is just around the corner, or hiking season is just around the corner. And I talk about how I want to set an example for my family. It makes me think clear and stay focused. So outside of just my workout, it's connected back in to my brands and the other things that I elevate on my platform. Does that make sense? Another thing, I'm working on my coaching business, or, you know, when I have my coaches say, heading to the coffee shop to work on my coaching business. Okay. Like that is a very, very passive post, right? Instead, connect that back to your brands, connect that back to your why, right? So I'm going to work on my coaching business at a coffee shop. You know, talk about maybe why it gives me the freedom to travel, or it's helped me be financially stable. Whether you're making $50 a week or $5,000 a week, it doesn't matter. Talk about, you know, you're going to work on this business because of this. It provides for my family. I don't have to answer to a boss. I get to work with people I love, right? I talk about my coaches all the time. Have time to take a yoga class all on my own. I can sign up and afford yoga teacher trainings, being home with my dogs someday, you know? Talk about you working on your coaching business and then why you're working on your coaching business. So hopefully you guys can just see the difference between that. And as you share like Beachbody things, like Shakeology, or like your workouts, or like your meal plan, talk about those things. It's super important for those things to be at the forefront of your business, but talk about why you're sharing them, right? Why are you sharing about your workout? Why are you sharing about working on your coaching business? Why is it important for you to dedicate an hour of your day to work on this, right? Outside of just, I'm a coach, it's what we do, right? So connect it back to those personal brands that you can think of. More examples of personal posting. So, you know, I see a lot of my new coaches being like, getting up early to do my workout. And instead of that, say, you know, how do you get up so early? So I would say, you know, talk about the fact that you get up early to crush your workout, but then maybe include in your Instagram caption, you know, these are the 3 things that really help me get up early. I plug my phone in away from my bed so I can't reach and turn off the snooze right away. I drink a 12-ounce glass of lemon water immediately once I wake up, and I chug this plant-based pre-workout that I love that gets me stoked on my workout. So you're breadcrumbing coaching, you're breadcrumbing other things, and you're providing value to your followers, not just getting up early to crush my workout. Like, don't be boring, right? Like, add those things and ask yourself those questions. But it really does take, you know, a little bit of practice to get yourself into, you know, what can I share that connects deeper? What can I share that provides just a little bit more value? You know, a lot of my coaches will be like, okay, I'm on the meal prep train. Here's my meal preps for the next 7 days. And then it's ended. And I'm like, that's your caption? Like, can you add, like, you know, maybe a recipe that you use for your meal plan, or maybe like where you got your Tupperware, if there's a sweet deal at Home Goods or there's a sweet deal at Costco. Like, talk about something that your followers can grab from that and apply to their life, right? Talk about your favorite workout clothes and link or tag your workout clothes in your posts. How to organize your home gym, right? So when you share a picture of you crushing your workout, talk about where you got your adjustable Bowflex weights, or talk about, you know, I have these like fancy string lights that I bought off of Amazon for $15. So I talk about those, you know, connect again and provide that value. All right. So I kind of want to go over just a little bit more. I'm almost done. Your kind of like story in a day, and how everything, even though it's not a direct invite, like that kind of passive direct invite posting, how it can be personal, but still sticking to your brands, right? So this one, for example, it's my brand of family. They're super important to me. I talk about them all the time on my stories and in my posts, but I talk not only about my family, but this is my family choosing to work out with me. So it's family as a brand, but it's also integrating and threading and coaching, and why that's important to me, right? Another one of my brands that I had talked about is my love of coffee. I'm literally obsessed. I used to work at Starbucks corporate. I worked at Starbucks retail stores for like 5 years. So instead of just posting a picture of my coach coffee chat or my coach team call that's right here, I put a mug in front of it and I talked about coaching, but I also talked about coffee and my obsession with this new roast or this new flavor or whatever. So it connected on 2 kind of paths. So again, it's not that passive of like clocking into my team call or just got done with my team call. It was like I said something deeper outside of just, it's my team call, right? This one was back when I was living in the tiny home. So I talked about my workout, but then I also talked about my tiny home and where my home gym was, and how, you know, all you need is, you know, enough space to, you know, roll out a yoga mat. Another one that I would share is I would integrate and connect, again, why I'm doing my workouts. If you're a mom, talk about your workouts and why they're important for your kids, so you can lead by example and be that role model. For me, I work out so I'm strong on the ski hill or going surfing or hiking or whatever. So this post, I was talking about my workout, but I was also talking about skiing and how my workouts help me with my with ski season. Last example here is me. I was heading to a coffee shop, so I snapped a picture of myself. And again, instead of saying heading off to go work at a coffee shop, I said, heading off to go work at a coffee shop. I'm rocking my Danskos today, which are these kind of like weird shoes. I love them. Hopefully you guys love them too. And I tagged Danskos and talked about my Dansko shoes in this post. And I still remember this post to this day. This post was like a year ago. But people, like, it like blew up. Like, they were obsessed with the Danskos and where I got them. And they're like, oh my gosh, I use those too. You know, I wear those at my, you know, serving shift at the bar or whatever. And so I connected outside of just, again, boring, going to work on my coaching business at the coffee shop, or like going to work on my coaching business at the coffee shop who still rocks their Dance Goes even after, you know, not working in the bar anymore. And nurses started showing up and saying, oh, I wear Dance Goes, you know, during my nursing shift, or, oh, I wear Dance Goes during my, you know, serving shift. If you guys don't know what Dance Goes are, you're going to think I'm like freaking crazy. But they're just this brand of shoe. But it literally lit up, and it was just so much proof that like you need to connect on things that are relatable to everybody while still trying to talk and breadcrumb about coaching what you really want to come across on your platform, right? So that's how pretty much anything can be an invite and sticking to your brands. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys. And then just kind of, again, just a reminder for you guys as I kind of dove into this. Your social media is your storefront, right? This is where we get our clients. This is where new people come into our business. You know, this is where we present ourselves as a business, right? So don't be boring. When you're writing captions, put time and effort into what you're sharing that has to do with coaching, but also how can it connect back to your brands and your stories, right? Another thing that I really like to share, and I actually talked about this at the last Super Saturday, people always say, you know, oh, I sent 100 invites, or I'm going to send 50 invites a day, or I'm going to send 20 invites a day, or whatever. But if your captions and words and what you're sharing on the front side of your Instagram don't match what you're saying in your DMs, it's going to be very hard for people to believe and trust and want to join you as a coach or as a client, right? So if you're inviting on the back end about your, you know, fitness groups or your coaching community and how amazing it is, but you're not talking on the front end, either in your stories or on your posts, about your fitness groups, about the crazy results that your clients have been getting this month, you know, about your freaking amazing team call that happened last night, you know, about this coaching community and how some of these best friends or these coaches have become some of your best friends. If you're not talking about that all the time, but you're still inviting all the time, people are going to get that invite to your fitness group, and then they're going to go to your storefront, aka your Instagram, and they're going to be like, bullshit, I don't believe you. What do you mean you host fitness groups? I don't see any results. I don't see any client testimonials. I don't see you talking about your fitness groups. You're acting really excited in your DMs about your fitness groups, but I don't see your fitness groups on here. I don't see you talking about those things. So making sure that, you know, people get so stuck with sending hundreds and hundreds of DMs and invites, but if it doesn't match what you're saying on the front end, it doesn't matter. Right? It won't connect. They won't believe you. So you need to instill that trust. And then again, going back to your mess is your message. Obviously, you guys have so much that you can talk about. Even if you're not a full-time coach, you have more to talk about than I have to talk about, right? And then just being really like open on your social media. I think so many people are like scared to like talk about how you were skeptical, or talking about what you thought Beachbody was, or what you thought an at-home workout program was. You know, one of my most successful before and after photos was a before and after photo of me getting awesome results, but it was also me talking about the fact that like, I think I opened up the caption with like, my first program I ever did was 21 days, and I pressed play in my parents' hallway, and I literally laughed my way through the workout because I could not believe that I was pressing play on a workout on my computer at home. Like, that is captivating for somebody, right? Because that's probably speaking into the exact hesitations that your client, that your followers have, right? Like they're skeptical, they have those hesitations. So speak to it, go onto their level and say, hey, I was right there with you. I was in that exact same place. And giving yourself that freedom to be honest about it, and like talking about how you were skeptical, or talking about how maybe you hated at-home workouts, or, you know, whatever type of person you were before you saw the light of Beachbody and saw the community and came into all of this, like make sure you're always speaking to that girl. And, you know, for me, 3 years later, it's hard for me to remember where I was 3 years ago, but I have to remember the people that I'm onboarding and the people that I'm attracting is me 3 years ago. So I have to talk to her, right? I have to do those connection points of those brands, but I also have to retell that story that happened when I initially started. I need to retell that story over and over and over again. Even today, I told that story again about how I got connected with Beachbody, and that's what's going to connect somebody to be like, this is real. Like, she's serious, because that's her story. She's let me into her story. I've seen her story unfold over these years, but always going back to it and telling it over and over again. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah. Now go talk to people based on the story you've already shared. Hashtag time saver, hashtag work smarter, not harder. And that's all that I have, but hopefully it was helpful for you guys.
That was so good. I'm like, oh my God, I need to even tell my story more often. You know, being a coach for 10 years, I'm like, oh my God, how often do I continue to share that story that 10 years ago that I was, you know? And I think probably every single one of us can look at that personal versus passive posting, and how many of us are doing the passive posting just because we see it on the SC tracker? Right? Like we're all like, yeah, I post it and I'm like crossing it off. You got to think about the why, guys, and putting that story and a little more effort between those posts. So guys, do we have any questions for Carly before, type them over on the side. But Carly, two of the things that I have been asking people on these weekly calls, just to, because we have people who are pushing towards emerald, towards diamond, and so forth. When you became diamond the first time, I know you said that was before you really got things going with your business. What was your strategy to hit diamond? And then the second question is, what is working for you recruiting wise right now?
Yeah, good questions. So it actually took me like 7 or 8 months to hit diamond. Again, I was not doing what my coach told me to do. I was floundering. But it really came down to me taking it into my own hands. I did the U+2. I signed up my mom as my +1, and I made her emerald, and I already had an emerald on the other side. So I made myself diamond. I knew that like this business wasn't about waiting for business builders, because if you wait for business builders, that's literally you saying, I'm going to wait to be successful until somebody else shows up and wants to be successful alongside me. Right? Like you can become a premier, like a 2-star diamond, and open up a second CVC with no business builders on your team at all. Right? So I always teach that to my coaches too. It's like, this is a business and you need to treat it like that. So take ownership of your business and have that proactive instead of reactive mindset, right? Proactive, like I'm going to make myself diamond by May 30th. Right? And I'm not going to wait until somebody steps up and says, I want to, hit emerald or whatever. Cause then that's you reacting to their choice. This is your business, right? So you have to take it into your own hands. So that was really my strategy. I just started taking ownership. And my team saw that. My team was like so inspired by like, wow, she's not waiting for us. Wow. Okay. She's just going to like do this by herself. Okay. The best thing that you can do is take that leadership role. A really good quote from Keith Callahan's book, Build to Last, is leadership is not hitting people over the head over and over again and dragging them through the mud, right? It's not about come with me, do coaching, you're going to love it, right? It's saying, hey, this is my business. Like I want to be successful. So I'm going to go be successful and lead by example. And if you want to join me, great. But also if you don't want to join me, also great. Still moving forward. Still don't really care. I'm going this way, right? So having that, like, don't take it personal and just moving forward is so key. And then what was the second question? Sorry, I forgot.
That's okay. I love that you shared that though, because it's true, you guys. Like you have to just take this business by the horns, right? Like you have to be the one that's doing it, and you will find your coaches get really motivated when they see you doing those things as well. The second question was recruiting. So like what's working for you recruiting wise as of right now?
Yeah. So I honestly kind of suck at Coach Sneak Peeks. They're getting better the last couple months, but I did not build my business off of Coach Sneak Peeks. I was like 100% fitness focused because I love fitness. I became a yoga teacher because I love fitness. I became a Beachbody coach because I love fitness, and like helping people in their fitness journeys. So I always recruited my new coaches from challengers. Even if I had a new coach who, stepped into the business and was like, I'm ready to be a coach and be a diamond, my response to them would be like, that's amazing. You're going to jump in my challenge group and commit to a program for 3 weeks, and then we can talk about coaching afterwards. So I always revert them back to get into that client, have that client experience, build that testimony for yourself, because that's the most valuable thing that you can have. And then the other thing I would say is where I've recruited pretty much all my coaches is I guess I don't suck at Coach Sneak Peeks, but I actually host my coaching sneak peek inside of my monthly challenge group. So every month I have a new Facebook group, and I actually go live in there the 3rd week of their workouts, and I talk about coaching. I talk about how it's changed my life. I talk about, my week 3 of my program. I realized how amazing this career was and how amazing these programs were, and I decided to pay it forward and start helping people. And at that point, they're 2.5 weeks into their program. They're just about ready to finish, because I always just lead people through 21 days of their fitness program, whatever program they choose. By that time, they're falling in love with that process. They either want to sign up for the discount or to pay it forward anyways. So I feel like my challenge group is the perfect Coach Sneak Peek. And then it puts all the pressure and focus on you sticking to those vitals, getting new clients in the door, helping those clients get results. And from there, those are perfectly curated people to become coaches. So that's where I get my coaches from. And I even post a little graphic inside the Facebook group, like going live on Wednesday to share more about coaching and what I do and how you guys can do it too. And then I just pop in and I do a live video, and I literally, I turn the challenge group into a coach sneak peek.
I love that. I would never even think to do that, but that's pretty genius, just because you already have your clients and everything in there, and maybe some clients that have been in there for a while. So I'm totally going to take that. Megan said that you do your groups just for 21 days.
Yeah. So I do two things, and I've kind of like set this kind of more permanently within the last couple of months, but I'll do a 21-day Facebook group with actually, so I guess it's 28 days. There's 7-day prep week, and then there's 21 days of like, check-in posts. And I do that, and I host a new Facebook group every single month, and then I have an ongoing group inside the challenge tracker. So I'll transfer people over after their 21 days into the challenge tracker, and that's where they continue their journey, either as a client, or if they've decided to transfer as a coach, then I add them into my team page and stuff as well. But yeah, I just do 21-day groups on Facebook for my fitness groups each month, and then ongoing like clients and coaches and stuff. We're all a part of the challenge tracker that I check in daily too also.
I love that. Okay, so I have another question because I don't see people asking questions, so I'm going to ask questions. So you went from 2-star to 11-star in a very short amount of time, which means you're doing things right. So do you run a push to diamond, or do you do one-on-one with people, or do you do like a Voxer? I know I hear a lot of people do Voxers, or like what's your approach for helping people get diamond?
So something that really helped me in 2018, what I did is called a diamond internship. And it's literally just like 1 month I dedicate one-on-one time, an hour a week, with one coach who's claiming that they want to push to diamond. I open up like applications for it just for my PS coaches, and people can apply. And people are always like, oh, what's your layout, or what's your strategy for your diamond internship, or what do you make them do, and all this stuff. And I don't plan anything. I literally put the like pressure back on them, and I just give them my time, 1 hour a week for the duration of the month. So usually we meet 4 times. I announce who won the diamond internship at the beginning of the month, so all eyes are on that person, so the pressure is kind of there for them. So it's kind of like reverse psychology. It works really well. I think I had 6 diamonds advanced from diamond internships last year. So they worked super, super well. And again, it was that one-on-one time. Once they won the internship, I was like, okay, what day of the week do you want to show up, and we can chat for an hour? And, we show up, and I'm like, all right. And I literally don't say anything. I'm like, this is your time. Like, what do you want from me? But it's not me like being their mother, right? Like, it's not me like, where's your business activity tracker? Like, I mean, if you want to build a business, like, I'm not going to be tapping you on the shoulder, like patting you on the back, making sure you're doing your things, right? Like, you're going to have to take ownership. And I think that's the first thing they learn, even in this diamond internship, where it's like, oh, she's not going to tell me that there's a secret sauce. Like, oh, like there's nothing special that she's going to tell me to do. It's just a matter of either you choose to be successful or you choose to make excuses. And that's just been like, it's so simple. I mean, anybody can run that, right? You could even do like an Emerald internship, right? For like 2 weeks or whatever. And it just, again, it puts the pressure back on them, but it does give you that time to spend one-on-one with them.
I love that. And I love your attitude where you're like, it's up to you. Like you can take advantage of that time and really ask me questions, or not so much, right? So yeah. That's awesome. Well, Carly, thank you so much for sharing all of these tips with us, social media wise, because I'm like, oh my God, like you guys go look at her Instagram because it's amazing. It really is. It's very much who you are right now, which I love even more. But thank you for sharing your tips with us. And everyone is very grateful.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Order Damskos.
Yes, I don't even know what those are. I feel so like I need to go like Google what these shoes are. Oh man, as soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, I don't know what those are.
They're worth the investment. All right, thanks guys.
Yes, thank you so much, Carly. Congratulations on all your success. Guys, I will put this recording up in the team resource, since I'm revamping the groups, okay? So in the team resource, and after that, we'll be good to go. So Carly, have a wonderful night. Everyone else have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you